Alright guys, this is kind of my thoughts on Insurgent by Veronica Roth, and this is the second book in the trilogy, Divergent trilogy. This book, I can honestly say, I didn't think it was as good as Divergent, but it was still really good. I don't even know how far in I was. And I was thinking, this is an okay book. It's not the absolute greatest. But then somewhere along the line, I just kind of got pulled into it again. Not so much as I was with Divergent. There's definitely action. I can't say that it's not lacking in action. It's just, it's lacking something, and I just don't even know what it is. Divergent was just so amazing and mind-blowing, I guess, that I don't know if maybe my expectations for Insurgent were a little high. It was still a really good book, and it's definitely a book you have to have because you've got to have some kind of bridge, some kind of transition into the third book. Towards the end of the book, now I can honestly say probably in reading the first book, Divergent, I kind of already had an idea of what this world was that they were living in. I don't know, I just kind of felt like I knew what it was. And then towards the end of the book, in fact, I think it's how it ends, it pretty much tells you what this world is that they live in. And I was like, I knew it. I just knew that's what it was. But the way that it is revealed was a complete shock to me. There's somebody in the book, and in the other book as well, that is somebody you didn't think they were going to be. Like one of those type of things. I was literally shocked when I read it. I was like, oh my gosh! Now, having to wait for the third book is going to be like torture, because seriously, I just want to know how all of this ends. Once again, I think Veronica Roth did an excellent job with pulling you into the story, making you feel like you were there in the action, making your heart beat really fast because you feel like you're right there beside Triss. Yeah, it just, I don't know. And I do feel like by the end of Divergent that Triss kind of knew who she was. But in Insurgent, it's like she lost it again. I just felt like she was really lost through the whole book. Like she didn't know who she was or what her purpose was in life. I think she struggled with just the fact of life itself. You know, is there any reason for me to live? That type of thing. That she fights back and forth with that. You know, one minute she's fighting for her life. The next minute she's thinking, I would rather die. One of those type of things. That was a little frustrating because it's like, come on, there's always a reason to live. Keep on, keep on. Who knows how it's gonna, you know, your life's gonna end or what's gonna come up next in your life, but there's always a reason to live. So I was a little frustrated with that, and also I was a little frustrated with Triss and Tobias's relationship. Yeah, I just felt like I wanted to say, well, you guys just shut up and, well, not shut up because they need to talk, but sit down and just communicate, because their communication was like sucky. They just weren't communicating, and there was a lot of tension and a lot of anger, I felt like. I just felt like they needed to sit down and communicate a little bit. But like I said, it wasn't as good as Divergent, but it was still really good, and I do think that it was the bridge and the transition that we will need to get into the third book. I can't wait to read the third book, because the ending of this one just did it for me. I was like, oh my gosh, because seriously, through the whole book, it was like, this is okay, and then I got into it a little further, and I'm like, okay, it's starting to get pretty good, but the ending just, it just blew it out of the water for me. So I can't wait to read the third book, but this is definitely one that you need to check out. If you read Divergent, you really do need to go ahead and read Insurgent. I know a lot of people are saying it's not as good as Divergent, but it's definitely good enough that you need to read it. So that's all I can say. So I'll see you guys later. Bye.